future, the future is mine. Welcome to the future, the future is mine. Own your peace.
There's a chart.
On your lane,
Brick by block.
chain by chain.
ILCA. We remain. Yeah. Brick by block, now we do it on chain. ILCA stay. Future look insane. Brick by block, not a block on chain. Tokenized real estate changing the game. Fraction by fraction, we stack that game. LCA, you remember the name. Real estate flip to a digital claim. RWA got the whole world flame. Either state moves with precision and name. Welcome to the future, everything changed. Big funds coming in BlackRock way. Billions locked in a blockchain maze. Fractional stakes, no rich man gay. Anybody eat now, anybody elevate. Token to token, we moving real slick. No middleman hands on the deal getting tipped. Immutable records, the chain don't switch. On your piece, now real estate glitch. Trade file locked, but the chain unlocked. RWA pushing numbers that shock. 10 trillion coming, the curve don't stop. ILCA teach the world not stop. Brick by block, not a block on chain. Tokenized real estate changing the game. Fraction by fraction, we stack that game. ILCA, yeah, remember the name. Liquidity fast, no stress, no pain. Cross-border transfer like rainfall rain. Either stay built for the hustle and brain. Welcome to the future, everything changed. Digital D's, no paper, no mess. Blockchain truth with a fraud-proof address. E-wallet clean so the user feel blessed. Top up, move funds is the finesse. Partner with giants, the vision on track. You let property keep the value intact. ADR certified, we never move slack. Tokenized, brick stack back to back. Fractional freedom, real estate flip to the people who need it. No more barriers, just blockchain power, believe it. ILCA show the keys. Either stay, show the deeds. Now watch the whole world breathe. Brick by block, not a block on chain. Tokenized real estate changing the game. Fraction by fraction, we stack that game. LCA, yeah, remember the name. Future unlocked, no cage, no frame. Whole world gon' rewrite the claim. Tokenized life, everything rearranged. This is the moment, everything changed. Brick by block, chain by chain. LCA, we remain. Yeah. Let's go claim the future.
We own the future, watch us rise. Tokeners and dreams under open skies. Brick by brick, we break those walls. LCA, yeah, we answer the calls. Hands up high, let the world unite. East State bringing real estate to life. This is our moment, we all can shine. Welcome to the future is mine. The future is mine. The future is mine. The future, welcome to the future. The future is mine. Real estate used to lock us out, but tokenization flipped their route. Fraction by fraction, play your part. Own your piece, give your wealth a start. Global transfers lightning fast. Paperwork on that era past. Blockchain truth that'll always last. RWA taking over so fast. Open the door, step inside. This the new world decentralized. Build your wealth, let your fears subside. ILCA, we your guide. We own the future, watch us rise. Tokeners and dreams under open skies. Brick by brick, we break those walls. LCA, yeah, we answer the calls. Hands up high, let the world unite. East State bringing real estate to life. This is our moment, we all can shine. Welcome to the future is mine. The future is mine. The future is mine. The future, welcome to the future. The future is mine. Partner strong, the foundation set. Binance chain, fastest yet. Eli property, bringing that vet. Art out standards, no regret. E-wallet bright with a clean design. Manage assets anytime. Cross-border moves in record time. Digital freedom, that's the sign. Break through limits, let it flow. This is the future we deserve to know. Fraction by fraction, and watch it grow. ILCA, let them know we own the future. Watch us rise, tokeners and dreams under open skies. Brick by brick, we break those walls. ILCA, yeah, we answer the calls. Hands up high, let the world unite. East State bringing real estate to light. This is our moment, this is the sign. Welcome to the future is mine. Future is mine. Own your peace, own your lane. Brick by block, chain by chain. ILCA, we remain.
The chain, yeah, we own it on the chain. Brick by brick, we rise again, rise again, rise again. Own it on the chain, yeah, we own it on the chain. ILCA, show the way, show the way, show the way. Own it on the chain, yeah, we own it on the chain. East State, elevate the game, elevate the game. Own it on the chain, yeah, we own it on the chain. Future in your hands, make your claim, make your claim. To the light of a brand new day. Real estate digital in every way. Fractional power, no delay. Ownership global with a single play. Cross-border money hit clean and fast. Immutable truth, that chain gon' last. I'll say showing what the schools won't cast. Build your future, never hold it back. Rise up, rise up. Put your hands on what you trust. Shine out, shine out. Future built from all of us. Rise up, rise up. Put your hands on what you trust. Shine out, shine out. Future built from all of us. Own it on the chain, yeah, we own it on the chain. Brick by brick, we rise again, rise again, rise again. Own it on the chain, yeah, we own it on the chain. ILCA, show the way, show the way, show the way. Own it on the chain, yeah, we own it on the chain. East State, elevate the game, elevate the game. Own it on the chain, yeah, we own it on the chain. Future in your hands, make your claim, make your claim. Token to the property, no fear. Ownership, truth made crystal clear. Every transaction recorded here, no middleman voice in your ear. Partner strong with a global flow. RWA market starting to grow. I like property, keep the value blowing. Binance chain, make the whole thing go. Rise up, rise up. Let your future manifest. Shine out, shine out. Chain protecting every step. Rise up, rise up. Let your future manifest. Shine out, shine out. Chain protecting every step. Own it on the chain, yeah, we own it on the chain. Brick by brick, we rise again, rise again, rise again. Own it on the chain, yeah, we own it on the chain. ILCA, show the way, show the way, show the way. Own it on the chain, yeah, we own it on the chain. East State, elevate the game, elevate the game. Own it on the chain, yeah, we own it on the chain. Future in your hands, make your claim, make your claim. Own it, own it, own it. Rise up, chain, chain, chain. Let's go. ILCA, stay, let's ride. Let's go. Stepping in the future with a neon glow. Token in my hand, yeah, watch me grow. Digital keys make the world unfold. East State turning every dream to gold. Data all clean, no tricks, no lies. Blockchain truth in a global size. Real estate open with a single tap. K-pop drip with a crypto map. Let's go, we ride.
estate life. Dance with the chain, step into your name. LCA, yeah, we change the game. On that wave, we don't wait, we create. Talking to the block, level up your faith. Rise, rise, we on tonight. Future so bright, we like the sky. Oh, on the wave, 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 blue sky. On the wave, on the wave, on the wave, blue sky. On the wave, 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 blue sky. Cross-border flex with the speed so clean. Money move fast like a laser beam. Fractional stake, now we in the scene. Owning that piece like a royal queen. RWA go wild on the chart. Big funds jump in, playing the smart. But I'll say got the education art. We build the future from the heart.
The future is mine.
Hands up, pull the chain.
Pull it,
Light up, break the frame.
break it.
Step by step, yeah, we elevate. Each day helping every soul create. On that wave, let your power ignite. Each day dropping real estate light. Dance with the chain, step into your name. LCA, yeah, we change the game.
On the wave, we don't wait, we create. Talking to the block, level up your faith.
Rise, rise, beyond you. Should beat the bang. On that wave, let your power ignite. Each day dropping real estate light. Dance with the chain, step into your name. LCA, yeah, we change the game. On that wave, we don't wait, we create. Talking to the block, level up your faith. Rise, rise, we on tonight. Future shine on, we like the sky. Oh, look, God, woo!
Let's rise up. We own this moment.
You woke up with the sunrise burning gold in my mind. Stepping into futures that were once hard to find. But ILCA showed a raw redesign, turning every lost dream into something alive.
Fraction to a home, yeah, we claiming our part. Estate bring the change with a digital spark. Blockchain keep the truth, no more shots in the dark. We're moving with a purpose and igniting the mark.
We've come too far to fade tonight.
Stand tall, let the whole world see us shine.
We build our future piece by piece. Now everything is in our reach. We own the sky, yeah, we rise and fly. ILCA, put the power inside. Every step we take, every dream we try leads us higher, higher. We own the sky.
Yes, they let the world so bright. Fraction by fraction, we claim our rights. Stand up now, let your spirit ignite. 'Cause together we own the sky.
Higher, higher. We own the sky.
We own the sky.
We're breaking the limits they once drew in the sand. Turning small beginnings to a future that stands. Digital keys in the palm of our hands. E-wallet open, now we taking command.
Real estate change, call it evolution. Cross-border moves with a clean execution. LC fam is the new institution. Rewriting the rules, yeah, this is revolution.
We've come too far to fade tonight.
Stand tall, let the whole world see us shine.
We build our future piece by piece. Now everything is in our reach. We own the sky, yeah, we rise and fly. ILCA, put the power inside. Every step we take, every dream we try leads us higher, higher. We own the sky.
We stay like the world so bright. Fraction by fraction, we claim our rights. Stand up now, let your spirit ignite. 'Cause together we own the sky.
They try to keep us small.
They try to close the doors.
But we learn, we grow, we rise, and now we own what's ours.
We own the sky, yeah, we rise and fly. ILCA, put the power inside. Every step we take, every dream we try leads us higher, higher. We own the sky.
You stay like the world so bright. Fraction by fraction we claim our rights. Stand up now, let your spirit ignite. 'Cause together we own the sky.
Leads us higher, higher. We own the sky.
We own the sky.
We own the sky.
Oh, own it. Own it, own it, own it, own it, own it, own it, own it. Snare rolls pick up, rises whips into the pre-drop. Own it, own it, own it, own it, always stop. Take your peace.
Take your peace.
1, 2, 3, drop!
Own it, own it. Own it, own it, own it, own it, own it.
ILCA, take your land. Trap snare, rise it up, rise it up, rise it up, rise it up.
Fraction by fraction, future in action. Beat pulls back, halftime trap, token to the building. Global transaction, IL fail group. I'm more rise, rise. It's rising, screaming upward. Track your peace. Set it on. Trap horns, blast, kick, tick, double time. Middle waist, distort beautifully. Ayo, tank on the chain, take it back, claim your name. Logo, drop melody, overdrive. We rise globally. Ooh.
Yeah, we came from the bottom, had to flip that view. Turn confusion to a blueprint, the whole world knew. ILCA taught the block how to break right through. Each state got the keys to a system brand new. Yeah, we came from the bottom, had to flip that view. Turn confusion to a blueprint, the whole world knew. ILCA taught the block how to break right through. Each state got the keys to a system brand new. Tokenized land, that's a global flex. Fraction by fraction, watch what's next. Dark piano loop with the C-tel text. On your piece now, no need to stress. Cross-border funds in a second or less. Blockchain truth, take away that guess. Real estate change, let me say this blessed. When the chain get involved, opportunities end.
We ride from the ground to the light. We thrive, turn the wrongs into right. Step by step, yeah, we claim our sight. This is the future shining bright. On the way,
Ride the rhythm of a brand new day. Token by token, pave your way. LCA, show you how to play.
on the way.
Instead, elevate what you can claim. Brick by block, we shift the game. This is the future, make your name.
We ain't locked out, no doors remain. Blockchain clear, every move on chain. Fresh and no freedom, no legal strain. Own a piece without the weight or pain. Rising like the island, side. Global capital on a rocket ride. From black rock waves to the crypto side. Do you stay, keep it steady as a trusted guide?
No more waiting for the right permission. No more standing in the shadows of old tradition. We building digital global gold. Ownership tokenized, wealth retold. This is more than
money. This is destiny control. On the way,
by the rhythm of a brand new day. Token by token, pave your way. LCA, show you how to play.
on the way,
Stay elevate what you can't claim. Brick by block, reshift the game. This is the future, make your name.
on the way, 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 on the dream. Chain by chain, we build a stream. ILCA, yeah. On the way, on the dream. Chain by chain, we build a stream. On the way, on the dream. Chain by chain, we build a stream.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our ILCA 5-day challenge. My name is your Queen Connectress, Miss Marnie DeCasa, and I will be your humble hostess for today. Now, there is something that I always like to say, and that is we totally understand there are so many different things that you could be doing with your time. My goodness, the nighttime is the right time for family and for preparation of the next day. So the fact that you guys decided to come on out and hear what we have to say, of course, that makes us so very happy. So again, thank each and every one of you for being here. And my goodness, what a wonderful, wonderful place this is to be. I don't know if you've noticed it, but I think we're in a financial revolution, and that revolution's name is blockchain technology. So if you ever wanted to be part of something great, if you ever thought to yourself, you know what? I need to create generational wealth for my family. This is exactly where you need to be. Here at ILCA, not only are you going to learn the basics of cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, but you're also going to receive some mindset training. And if you're like me, you love personal development, and we have that for you as well. Now, as you can see, all of our VIPs are here and everybody is looking good. Hello, my babies. How are you? Just like Miss Judy said, hello, neighbor. It's so good to see each and every one of you here. Thank you so very much for taking the time out for being part of our VIP. Now, you guys should know the routine. As you come on in, type your name and where you are from in the chat box. That way I get a chance to tell everybody who is here on the cool kid side. And if you have the opportunity, of course, please turn on your cameras. One of the best parts about us being on a Zoom call like this is that we get a chance to see all your faces and see those beautiful smiles. But first, let me say hello to our friends on YouTube. I can't forget about you guys. Thank you guys so very much for being here. It is so good to see each and every one of you, and you write your name in the chat box as well. Okay, first up, I see Papa Leonard is here. Hello, Leonard. How are you, sir? Leonard is actually one of our ILCA partners. Papa Leonard, thank you so very much for being here. It is always good to see you. And please, sir, drive safe. I see we also have Michael Aluko here with us today. Hi, Michael. How are you? Michael is also on the road. My goodness, that's the type of dedication our students have. It doesn't matter where they're at home or they're on the road, they're going to show up for the 5-day challenge. Michael, thank you so very much for being here this evening. It is always good to see you, sir. I see we also have the beautiful Miss Catherine Clement. Mwah! Hello, superstar. How are you? You guys keep an eye on Miss Catherine Clement. This woman just became a certified ILCA representative, and she and Mr. CJ Jackson every Thursday is doing a wonderful MoveQuest session for us where they're keeping us updated. They're answering our questions and they're taking care of business. Thank you guys so very much for everything you do for all of us. Mwah. I see we also have Mr. Kenny Taylor is here with us. Hello, Mr. Kenny Taylor. How are you? Mr. Kenny Taylor is actually representing Los Angeles, California. He is another one you need to keep your eye on. You will be hearing more coming from Mr. Taylor more sooner than later. Mr. Taylor, thank you. We truly appreciate everything you do for our community. I see there is Miss Samantha. Hi, baby. How are you? I love that smile. Samantha, thank you so much for being here. Samantha is another one. You better watch out for ILCA students. We're not playing. Not only is she certified, but we will be putting some things together. So please keep your eye out for Miss Samantha as well. I see we also have the lovely Miss Patty Geist is here with us today. Hi, Miss Patty. It's always good to see you, beautiful. Thank you so very much for being here. I see we also have Mr. Clairvaux Albert. Hello, sir. He is coming on in from Connecticut. It's always good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, CJ Jackson. Boom, 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 boom. Representing Arizona. Yes, sir. It's always good to see you, CJ, and that positive energy. CJ is another one. Okay. Keep your eye on him. We got some things coming out with him as well. Miss Carla Arrigo is here. Hello, Carla. How are you? It's always good to see you, baby. She is representing St. Louis, Missouri. Of course, Miss Rita B is in the house representing San Diego, California. There she is. Hello, Miss Rita. How are you? Thank you so very much for being here with us this evening. I see we also have Midge Woods. Hello, Midge. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad you were able to make it. It is always good to see you. Of course, Doreen Buckner is coming in from Anguilla. Let me speed this up. We got so many people here. My goodness. We got Amy in the house. Janelle's in the house. David is here. Hi, David. Wild Bill is here. Gina Muhammad coming on in from Philadelphia. Elton is here. Hi, baby. Where you at? There you are. Hello, sweetheart. Thank you so much for being here. Pedro is here. Judy is here representing Canada. Rhoda is here. She's making that money. I'm going to say that because she is. Hello. And Miss Janelle from Colorado. Okay, you guys, we're at the top of the hour. Let's go ahead and get our party started. Again, thank each and every one of you for being here on our ILCA 5-day challenge. My name is your Queen Connectress, Miss Marnita Casa, and I am your humble hostess for today. Now, it is my honor to introduce you all to a man that for over 25 years dominated the direct sales industry. His cryptocurrency education is used by companies and universities worldwide. For over 9 years now, he dedicated his life to learning about blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, but he didn't just stop there. He decided to go out, share his information with the masses, and this was done by putting on fun and exciting Bitcoin boot camps nationwide at no cost. He has built thriving communities and wonderful platforms like you see before you now. So without further ado, it is my honor to introduce you all to Mr. Brandon Ivey.
All right, all right. Thank you, Miss Casa, for that introduction. And I got to give it back to you for once again taking time out of your family and your household and your business to be our hostess tonight and make sure everybody is situated. And you guys don't understand how many hats that Miss Casa wears for ILCA. You may see her as the hostess and coming on, putting smile for all of you guys, but there's a whole lot she does for ILCA behind the scenes, and I'm very proud of her accomplishments from the first day when she contacted me and said, "Brandon, what are you doing out there? What's this crypto stuff? You scamming people out there?" And yeah, she's my cousin. And so she called me up and she asked me what's going on. And the first time I put her on to our crypto videos, to seeing where she went from there to where she is now is just amazing. And you guys had a chance last month on the 5 day challenge when we had women in crypto to hear her story. And that's the first time she actually shared her story on that level. So I want to thank Ms. Casa again for all that you're doing, all the hard work you're doing for our community. And welcome everybody, all of you VIP members on that's watching right now on Zoom, and all of you on YouTube that you might have just been invited to see what this 5 day challenge is all about. A friend of yours maybe told you about it. You might know some people that's making a lot of money in the crypto space, and you might just be curious. And you're watching us on YouTube. Thank you for being here. This is our day one. I see some of you guys, Ms. Costa said, put your names in the chat box there. I see Samantha's there. I think she's on here too. DJ from Trinidad, I see you there. I see Joyce Easley. I see Raisha Singh. Welcome, Raisha. Uh-oh, I see another superstar. Boss Lady Shantae. Boss it up. Welcome, welcome. Well, Judy's on there, so some of you guys are on the Zoom and the YouTube. So thank you guys for being here. Those of you who came early, I told you there was going to be a little hint in the music we've been playing because ILCA has just partnered with a company that I have not gone public with yet. That will happen a week from today. But we're taking advantage of tokenized real estate. So if you came on early and you heard the music I was playing, I gave a hint in the music. And I'll be doing that all week because what we're doing is staying ahead of the river of money. And those of you in our River of Money group, I just posted a screenshot just to show you what I've done in the last 24 hours. So don't say nothing. Don't say nothing public. All right. I know my inner circle, you guys are getting excited, but don't say nothing public. Wait. On next Monday, we're going to be talking about how to make money in this space and giving everybody an opportunity to take advantage of what we are getting ourselves positioned in. So tonight, though, we're going to be doing something different than what I normally do on a 5 day challenge on night one. Night one, we go into what is the blockchain. Because a lot of people hear about Bitcoin and crypto, but they don't understand the technology that underpins it, the technology that allows this to be even possible. However, before I even got into crypto, I always used to do a series. I was known as the mindset business coach. And I used to do a series called The River of Money. And if you want to change your life, there's certain things that you need to do and be positioned in. And in our crypto talk, I think it was a week or 2 weeks ago, we came across an article that Elton actually sent over to me about the Trump family and how they got to where they are today, going back 3 generations. And the theme of that article was that they followed a formula. And it's the exact same formula that I've been teaching for years and that I follow that has gotten me to where I am. And I am nowhere near where I want to be. But where I am is still pretty good. I was able to walk off my job and retire at the age of 36 years old. I haven't had a job since 2012. I am 49 years old, and Ms. Casa said I've been 25 years in the direct selling industry. Next month, it'll be 26 before I even turn 50. And it started because I made a decision. And the decision that I made was that I believe that there is something better than what we've been taught. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you want to have financial freedom, there's a couple of things that you must do. Go to school, get good grades, get a good, safe, secure job, a job that will take care of you for the rest of your life. And I did that. I grew up like my family, the Cosbys. Going to college was not a hope and a dream, it was a prerequisite. I mean, multiple generations from my grandparents all the way to my children. We all went to college. And I did that. I got a good, safe, secure job, but due to no fault of my own, I was laid off and fired multiple times. If you've ever been laid off, raise your hand or type me in the chat box. So I knew that system that we were taught was not going to be viable at least for my generation. The baby boomers kind of had a chance to experience that, but the baby boom generation also still needed to have two parents in the household working a full-time job just to make ends meet. And then my generation, Generation X, that's a dream. We're living on debt. And then our children, they're telling us, expect your children to be in the house with you until they're at least in their 30s. The average age of someone being able to buy a home is at 40. So I said, I need to think outside of the box. I need to do something different. I needed to think like an entrepreneur. And that's what I did to get to me to where I am today. So because of that article, and then Kenny Taylor asked, Brandon, the 5 day challenge is phenomenal. But a lot of people out there don't know why they should pay attention. They don't know why something like blockchain is significant, why it is in the front of the river of money. Can you speak on the river of money on the first night to get people's mind right that they should be open to hear the rest of the information we share during the week? And I said, that was a great idea. So you guys can thank Kenny Taylor for the suggestion of what we're going to go over tonight, and thank Elton for dropping me the link that validated the formula that I've already been teaching. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. And you guys are my guinea pigs. I'm experimenting on you because I have never done this before. So we're doing a brand new lesson, and I will see how this plays out and how I may want to tweak it. Tomorrow night, we will be going to what is blockchain technology. On Wednesday night, we're going to talk about now what are cryptocurrencies and how do they work. On Thursday night, we're going to talk about wallets. How do I buy crypto? How do I move it? How do I buy it and sell it and store it? And then Friday, we're going to talk about security. How do I secure it so I'm not going to get hacked? I'm not going to lose all of my crypto. I have heard some of the most nightmarish stories of people losing all their life savings on things we cover in the 5 day challenge for free. Education is key. Education is everything. And that is what ILCA is all about. In January, we will be 4 years old. Some of you were at our very first 5 day challenge. And I thank you for still being here now because our learning never stops. I do not consider myself a crypto expert. I am crypto versed. What's the difference? If you stand still, you're going to lose knowledge because tomorrow information changes. This industry is always rapidly growing and changing. We stay on top of it. That's when we do our crypto talks every single day. And our 5 day challenges is just designed to expose someone that's brand new and even somebody that considers themselves a veteran to this knowledge and information that I can guarantee they didn't have before, because you're not going to get it on YouTube. And you're not going to find too many crypto educational platforms out there. You want to know who I am? AI me. All of you have access to AI. Ask your AI, who is Brandon Ivey and Ivy League Crypto Academy or ILCA, and see what it has to say about who we are. But our real company is actually called Ivy League Coaching Academy. Now, to want to get somewhere, you have to accept reality of where you are today. And most people don't do that. So let me give you a little bit of reality. Let's take a look. Watch this video right here.
America.
By the way, I want to make sure I got the audio on. So can you guys hear the audio on this video? Type me in the chat box if you can hear the audio.
America, the land of opportunity. We've all heard that phrase. But what happens when the opportunities dry up? What happens when the gap between the rich and the poor becomes a chasm?
Okay, if you say it's low, that means I didn't hit a button. So let me make sure I do this. And I didn't. You're right. I always mess that part up. Let's do this again.
We're seeing it now.
Go back.
America, the land of opportunity. We've all heard that phrase. But what happens when the opportunities dry up? What happens when the gap between the
Wrong screen again? Come on, Brandon, get it right. Screen 2. There we go.
rich and the poor becomes a chasm? We're seeing it now. More and more Americans are falling into poverty. This isn't about laziness, it's about a system that's rigged against them. Wages are stagnant, the cost of living keeps going up, and the safety net that's supposed to catch people when they fall is full of holes. We need to ask ourselves some tough questions. Why are so many Americans struggling? What can we do to create a more just and equitable society? The answers matter. The future of our country depends on them. Let's talk numbers. In America, millions of people live below the poverty line. That means they struggle to afford basic necessities like food, housing, and healthcare, and the numbers are going in the wrong direction. Poverty rates have been increasing. More families are struggling to make ends meet. This isn't just a problem for the poor, it's a problem for all of us. When so many people are struggling, it weakens our economy and our communities. We can't ignore these statistics. They paint a bleak picture of the reality for many Americans. It's time to face the facts and start working towards solutions. Here's a fun fact that's not actually fun. The gap between the rich and the poor in America is wider than ever. The wealthiest Americans are seeing their fortunes grow, while everyone else is struggling to keep up. Wages have stagnated for decades. That means people are working harder and longer, but their paychecks aren't keeping up with the rising cost of living. Meanwhile, the costs of healthcare, education, and housing continue to skyrocket. Something's got to give. This level of economic inequality is unsustainable. It creates a society where the American dream feels increasingly out of reach for too many. We need to find ways to create an economy that works for everyone, not just those at the very top.
Does the American dream feel out of reach for most people? Do you guys believe that? The American dream is no longer what was promised to us. Go to school, get good grades, get a good, safe, secure job. Minimum wage, nobody can live off of that. If you make 75, I'm going to really, and this could be a gut punch for some people, but you've got to face this. If you make $75,000 a year, $75,000 a year, and you made that for the next 20 years, and you didn't have to pay taxes on it, that's like $1.5 million. I want you to think about all of your expenses today and what expenses you're going to have over the next 20 years from weddings, funerals, hospital, college, medical, and your homes and your food and all of that stuff, debt. Every dime you spend over the next 20 years, it's got to come from that $1.5 million. Now, 20 years from now, is that 1.5 million will still be worth what it is today? I mean, if you went to the grocery store, does $20 today get you what $20 got you 20 years ago at the grocery store? Is your cost of living going to go lower over the next 20 years, or is it going to be higher? Just think about that. And the conundrum for most people is, how do I get more? How do I get more money? And you think, well, I'm an American. We live in the greatest country, right? Of opportunity. Here is what Americans believe the wealth distribution is today. Take a look at this video.
There's a chart I saw recently that I can't get out of my head. A Harvard business professor and economist asked more than 5,000 Americans how they thought wealth was distributed in the United States. This is what they said they thought it was. Dividing the country into 5 rough groups of the top, bottom, and middle 3 20% groups, they asked people how they thought the wealth in this country was divided. Then he asked them what they thought was the ideal distribution. And 92%, that's at least 9 out of 10 of them, said it should be more like this. In other words, more equitable than they think it is. Now that fact is telling, admittedly, the notion that most Americans know that the system is already skewed unfairly. But what's most interesting to me is the reality compared to our perception. The ideal is as far removed from our perception of reality as the actual distribution is from what we think exists in this country. So ignore the ideal for a moment. Here's what we think it is again. And here is the actual distribution. shockingly skewed. Not only do the bottom 20% and the next 20%, the bottom 40% of Americans barely have any of the wealth. I mean, it's hard to even see them on the chart. But the top 1% has more of the country's wealth than 9 out of 10 Americans believe the entire top 20% should have. Mind-blowing. But let's look at it another way, because I find this chart kind of difficult to wrap my head around. Instead, let's reduce the 311 million Americans to just a representative 100 people. Make it simple. Here they are: teachers, coaches, firefighters, construction workers, engineers, doctors, lawyers, some investment bankers, a CEO, maybe a celebrity or two. Now let's line them up according to their wealth. Poorest people on the left, wealthiest on the right, just a steady row of folks based on their net worth. We'll color code them like we did before based on which 20% quintile they fall into. Now let's reduce the total wealth of the United States, which was roughly $54 trillion in 2009, to this symbolic pile of cash. And let's distribute it among our 100 Americans. Well, here's socialism, all the wealth of the country distributed equally. We all know that won't work. We need to encourage people to work and work hard to achieve that good old American dream and keep our country moving forward. So, here's that ideal we asked everyone about. Something like this curve. This isn't too bad. We've got some incentive, as the wealthiest folks are now about 10 to 20 times better off than the poorest Americans. But hey, even the poor folks aren't actually poor, since the poverty line has stayed almost entirely off the chart. We have a super healthy middle class with a smooth transition into wealth. And yes, Republicans and Democrats alike chose this curve. 9 out of 10 people, 92%, said this was a nice, ideal distribution of America's wealth. But let's move on. This is what people think America's wealth distribution actually looks like. Not as equitable, clearly, but for me, even this still looks pretty great. Yes, the poorest 20 to 30% are starting to suffer quite a lot compared to the ideal, and the middle class is certainly struggling more than they were, while the rich and wealthy are making roughly 100 times that of the poorest Americans, and about 10 times that of the still healthy middle class. Sadly, this isn't even close to the reality. Here is the actual distribution of wealth in America. The poorest Americans don't even register. They're down to pocket change, and the middle class is barely distinguishable from the poor. In fact, even the rich between the top 10 and 20 percentile are worse off. Only the top 10% are better off. And how much better off? So much better off that the top 2 to 5% are actually off the chart at this scale. And the top 1%, this guy, well, his stack of money stretches 10 times higher than we can show. Here's his stack of cash, restacked, all by itself. This is the top 1% we've been hearing so much about. So much green in his pockets that I have to give him a whole new column of his own, because he won't fit on my chart. 1% of America has 40% of all the nation's wealth. The bottom 80%, 8 out of every 10 people, or 80 out of these 100, only has 7% between them. And this has only gotten worse in the last 20 to 30 years. While the richest 1% take home almost a quarter of the national income today, in 1976, they took home only 9%, meaning their share of income has nearly tripled in the last 30 years. The top 1% own half the country's stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. The bottom 50% of Americans own only 0.5% of these investments, which means they aren't investing. They're just scraping by. I'm sure many of these wealthy people have worked very hard for their money. But do you really believe that the CEO is working 380 times harder than his average employee? Not his lowest paid employee, not the janitor, but the average earner in his company. The average worker needs to work more than a month to earn what the CEO makes in 1 hour. We certainly don't have to go all the way to socialism to find something that is fair for hardworking Americans. We don't even have to achieve what most of us consider might be ideal. All we need to do is wake up and realize that the reality in this country is not at all what we think it is.
How many of you have never seen that before? You know, that is the reality. And I'm also here to tell you too, that old saying, pick yourself up by your bootstraps. And you are in that 9 to 5 grind, and you're maybe working 2 jobs, and you're busting your tail, and you're spinning your wheels in the sand like the rat race, doing the same thing over and over again, yet expecting a different result, and you don't know why. It's why, not because you suck, not because you're not smart, not because you're not a hard worker. It's because the system is designed for you to fail. Only 1 out of 100 people working a 9 to 5 job ever make it out on the other side okay. They want to increase the retirement age to 72 to keep you working until you die. So what is the answer? What is the solution? My grandfather taught my father this. No matter what you do, be the hardest worker at what you do. And my father taught me that. Even if that means you're a janitor, a street sweeper, or an elevator operator. Those were my grandfather's words. Now you have to think, when he was around during those times, people who looked like me weren't allowed to get most of the big jobs. We were relegated to service-based jobs. But he still said, be the hardest worker at it. I've taken that philosophy and added on to it. If you're going to work harder at something, then do it in an industry where you have unlimited resources to earn, with no barriers of entry. Because if you're making $75,000 a year and that's your ceiling, it doesn't matter how hard you work, you're not getting past $75,000 a year. So you need to be in an industry that allows you to make maybe 75 million or more. Take a look at this video when you understand what I say, that the system is designed this way. See, most 70% of all jobs in America do not pay a livable wage. 70% of jobs. So you can even go out there and try to get your college degree and get the best job, and you're still not going to be able to earn enough to live. Take a look at this video.
63% of workers say they wouldn't be able to cover a $500 emergency expense.
Most people don't have $1,000 in the bank. Most people cannot handle a tire blowout, or they're going to put it on credit.
Americans now carry more than $1 trillion in credit card debt.
The official poverty measure in the U.S. today is based on calculations from the mid-1960s.
It's also a system that is pervasive in actually creating poverty situations.
Poverty leads to more anxiety, it leads to more stress, it leads to more health problems.
$37.9 million. That's the number of Americans currently living in poverty, accounting for 11.6% of the total population. That's despite the fact that America ranks first as the richest nation in the world in terms of GDP.
The United States is known for having this great abundance, and at the same time, alongside that abundance, there is widespread poverty and economic insecurity.
Sometimes you question, we're in the United States of America. How can the citizens be going through such a issue? We always boast that we're a superpower, that we are the richest in the world, and things just don't make sense.
Poverty in the U.S. had been steadily improving over the past decade, from a height of 48.8 million people living in poverty in 2013 to 34 million in 2019. That was until the pandemic changed its course.
COVID absolutely had a very deep impact on the access to employment and long-term employment for a number of families that were already vulnerable for various reasons.
Prior, it was myself and my 2 older brothers, along with my stepdad, that constantly worked to provide for everyone in the house. But after COVID-19 and the whole lockdown, we were laid off. And ever since then, we have had issues finding a job.
Poverty is expensive. About 11% of the federal budget, or $665 billion, goes to economic security programs. Child poverty alone is estimated to cost the U.S. over $1 trillion, based on the latest research from 2018.
there are also really high costs on an individual level. Poverty leads to more anxiety, it leads to more stress, it leads to more health problems, all kinds of things that amplify the effect of poverty.
The feelings that you would usually encounter when you're in this position is mostly depression. Why can't I find a job? Why are we in this situation? You know, we're trying our best and sometimes it's just falling back down on our face.
So how did poverty become such a big issue in the United States? And why is it so difficult to end it? Income inequality is one of the big reasons why the US suffers from such high rates of poverty. The income for the top 10% was more than 13 times higher than income at the bottom 10%, according to the US Census.
We, unfortunately, in the United States are at the very high end in terms of income inequality. And so what happens is when the distance gets further and further away, the rungs on the ladder get further away, and it's harder for people to climb those rungs out of poverty into the middle and to the upper class.
The pandemic has made inequality worse. The Gini Index, which measures the nation's income inequality, rose for the first time in a decade by 1.2% in 2021.
The reason the pandemic has made that worse is because when you talk to large organizations, corporations, what they saw was that staff was leaving, but they had a response to that, right? Their response was, let's give bonuses, let's give raises. Many organizations, many small businesses, government, they don't have that luxury. So inflation has kept up with the money that most people in the 1% have made, but it has deepened and widened the gap between those that have money and those that do not.
Research by MIT estimates that the living wage in the United States is $24.16 per hour for a family of four. But the federal minimum wage is set at $7.25 per hour. This means that a typical family of four needs to work more than 2 full-time minimum wage jobs to earn a living wage. And single-parent families need to work significantly harder.
We worked at a banquet hall. Any sort of party, we would set it up, come early, set the tables, dishes, plates, silverware, everything, you name it. We worked for $15 an hour. It was really bad, I would say. We were really overworked, 13-hour shifts sometimes. We were really frustrated with where we were, but at the same time, it was like, what do we do if we leave? You know, we were at that stage of like, yeah, we hate this job, but we have to keep it to continue going.
Problems with wages are especially worse for workers of certain races.
If we're looking at the broader population of people who are poor or low income, meaning one emergency away from being poor, we're talking about approximately 140 million people. Out of the 140 million, well over 70 million people, well over half of that population are people of color.
That is the reality. But there's also an answer. You see, we don't live in a world of lack. It may seem that way. There's not enough money. Money doesn't grow on trees. I can't afford it. There is so much wealth in the world that every single man, woman, and child could be a billionaire right now. The key is, how do you access that? And I figured this out when I started to study money, because I was never taught it. I figured it out that is something called the river of money. Those who remain wealthy or get wealthy, they keep themselves in front of where that river of money is flowing. Money is not this. This is not money. Money is energy, and it changes form over the decades, years, and centuries, from going from cowrie shells all the way to Bitcoin and anywhere in between. It's all about, what do you value and what is it worth and what is it allowing you to do? So if you can figure out where the river of money is and put yourself in front of it, you will never be on the poverty side. Now, I'm going to do something. I'm going to use a family as an example. This family is very controversial. Some of you love them. Some of you hate them. Your opinion of them is irrelevant, because they're following a formula they did not invent. But it's a formula they figured out, and it's been working for 5 generations. And I'm talking about the Trump family, the president of the United States. Just follow this. Everyone thinks Trump got rich from real estate, and that's wrong. His $8 billion fortune came from a 130-year-old strategy his father invented, and his father didn't actually invent it, during the gold rush, the most underrated business principle in history. During the gold rush, that was another industrial revolution where a lot of people from the West picked up their stakes, moved out to in the East, moved out west to try to stake their claim in gold. Who made the most money during the gold rush? Was it actually people that was looking for gold? Or was it those that was selling the picks and shovels? Okay. Think about this. 1890s, the Klondike Gold Rush. While everyone rushed to dig gold, Friedrich Trump, German, Donald's grandfather, did something smarter. He opened restaurants and hotels for the miners. Actually, it was kind of bars and brothels, but restaurants and hotels for the miners. He sold picks and shovels to the dreamers chasing gold. Friedrich didn't gamble on gold himself. He built a sure thing by serving those who did. When he returned to Germany in 1901, he was already rich. But that wealth came with problems. Germany kicked him out for dodging military service. The Trump family has a good way of doing that. He was forced to return to America. Then tragedy hit. He died in the 1918 flu pandemic. Every 100 years, the world goes through a global pandemic. We just went through COVID. So the one before that was the 1918 flu pandemic. His wife, Elizabeth, was left alone with 3 kids and Friedrich's gold rush savings. So they had money now, okay? What do you do with it? In 1923, she teamed up with her teenage son, Fred Trump, Donald's father. They formed E. Trump and Son. Fred had vision beyond mining towns. He saw where the real money, what word? Flowed. Government housing contracts. Fred's 3-step strategy. Buy cheap land outside Manhattan. Build thousands of middle-class homes. Win World War II housing contracts for guaranteed income. That is key right there. Those of you in our River of Money group, you know what I'm talking about. And it worked. By the 1940s, Fred Trump was making millions. In 1970s, Donald joins the business. Fred avoided Manhattan. He thought it was too risky. Donald leaned in. He saw where new money was flowing. Grand Central Station, tourism, Manhattan revival. He made his move. He bought the rundown Commodore Hotel near Grand Central. Everyone thought he was insane, but Donald had a principle. Position yourself where the traffic is coming. It's a flow. Type it in the chat box. What business is McDonald's in? Even those of you on YouTube, type in the chat box. What is the business of McDonald's? My inner circle members already know the answer to this. Those of you on Zoom. Many people think the burger industry, right? Selling Happy Meals and fries and shakes. No, they're in the real estate business. McDonald's owns the best real estate in the world. They got the best corner in every major city. So Donald Trump figured that out. He turned it into the Grand Hyatt in 1980 and entered Manhattan's elite. 58 floors of marble, gold, and ambition, right on Fifth Avenue. And the genius move? He lived in the penthouse. He became the face of New York luxury. Who remembers lifestyles of the rich and famous in the 80s? In the 80s, Trump goes on a real estate rampage. Casinos in Atlantic City, the Plaza Hotel, skyscrapers across New York City. His weapon of choice? Debt. Again, my River of Money group, you know what I'm talking about. He used assets to borrow more. Let me repeat that. He used assets to Borrow, meaning he wasn't spending his own money. He used assets to borrow more and scaled fast. Then it all crashed. Trump's debt hit 3.4 billion. I remember this was back in my old ACN days and when Trump got involved with that. I remember he was telling a story that at one point he was walking down the street with a friend in New York City and there was a homeless person there and he gave the homeless person $100 or $20 and he said to his friend, "That homeless guy is now worth more than me." So what are you talking about? You're Donald Trump, you're wealthy. He said, I'm billions of dollars in debt. Okay. His casinos were losing money. He was broke on paper. Again, he was broke on paper. But banks bailed him out. Why? In their mind, he owed too much to fail. Who remembers 2008? The financial collapse in America. I lost my job because of that collapse during that time. Who remembers what George Bush said in his speech that actually saved the American financial system? A famous speech from the Oval, where he tried to calm America down and say, "It's going to be okay. Trust us. We're going to fix this." And then all the banks and businesses got bailed out. Did any of you get bailed out? Are you still waiting to get bailed out from the government? The businesses and banks did. Why? They said they were too big to fail. Notice a pattern here? His comeback, legendary. He pivoted from ownership to licensing. Trump hotels, Trump golf, Trump condos. He didn't own none of them, but he slapped his name on them. Branding. Again, those of you in my river of money, just wait till we launch the Ivy League Coaching Academy lessons in January. Branding. His name earned millions, while other people owned the actual property. Huh. Those of you as part of our tokenized real estate group, pay close attention. Other people built the assets. He took the checks. Sound familiar? The Trump family playbook is simple. Don't dig for gold, serve the gold diggers. Spot where money is flowing. Position yourself at the stream. Build brand, leverage debt, take equity. This is the ILCA playbook right now. This is our playbook. Most people chase the next big thing. They gamble on trends. The Trumps did the opposite. They followed money flows, not hype. Again, money flows, my river of money, not hype. They positioned themselves where other people spent money. Friedrich served gold miners. Fred served the government. Donald served status and prestige. 3 generations, one principle. Stand where the money flows. Here is how I use that same rule. Now he goes into something else. Now, the question is, now that was 3 generations. What industry is the next generation of Trumps moving into? Don Jr., Eric, and Barron. Can anybody take a guess on that? What's their next industry? Well, according to a New Yorker report, now understand, 1 year ago from now, the Trumps were broke. They were in a situation where they could not do business in New York. No bank would lend them money. No other real estate deals. Facing 34 criminal indictments. No, I'm sorry, convictions. Him winning the presidency was a matter of do or die. Since he won the presidency again, the Trump family has made an estimated $3.4 billion, primarily through ventures like what? cryptocurrency. So, if I just showed you an example of this family going through 3 generations of being in front of the river of money, which means they're teaching this to their children that you're not learning in school. The rich teach their kids what we don't know. What do you think the 4th generation of Trumps are following? So if they see the I in crypto, they were able to make 3.4 billion in less than a year. What do you think we should be doing? They created a company called World Liberty Financial, co-founded by Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, and Barron Trump. Started token trading on September 1st. That's 2 months ago. The family gets 75% of the token sale proceeds. If they continue this up, they will be worth at least $100 billion by the end of this decade at the rate that they're going. Why? Because they are following the river of money. Now, I do a much more detailed lesson on what the river of money is, but just understand I figured something out in 2017, May 2017, that changed my professional career. I learned 2 things. Number one, blockchain technology is going to disrupt every single industry on the planet today, whether you like it or not, believe it or not, trust it or not. Your opinion of it is irrelevant. This is happening. The second thing that I learned is that cryptocurrency represents the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind. And there have been other shifts in wealth, but what's the difference this time? For the most amount of people. What does that mean? That means that anybody can be involved. It doesn't matter who you are, where you were born, what language you speak, the color of your skin, man, woman, or child, whether you have a college education or not, whether you're rich or poor, whether your daddy owns the business, there is no such thing as racism, sexism, nepotism. It is all based on 3 things. Number one, do you have access to a cell phone? Number two, do you have access to the internet? And then number 3, which is the most difficult one, do you have a willingness to learn? You'd be surprised how many people don't have that ability, or they have the ability, they don't make the decision. If you have all 3 things, you can become a walking ATM like Catherine. You learn a skill set that nobody can take from you, and you're positioning yourself in an industry where there's no barrier to stop you. I've always said I'm a Morehouse man, and there's a lot that comes behind that just by saying that, if you understand our mystique. And all I ask for is that there's a level, even playing field. I don't want to hand up and hand out. I don't want to be given anything special. I just want an equal opportunity without somebody not having a boot on the back of my neck because of the color of my skin, or where I was born, or the language I speak. Move out of the way, give me a fair chance, and I'm going to win the race because I have a hard work ethic. That's all I wanted and I asked for everybody. But we don't live in a system that's designed for that. But the blockchain is. The blockchain is controlled by math, not an individual. And everything that I said today is leading up to why you should be paying attention to the blockchain, because this is where the river of money is flowing. Whatever business and job that you're in right now, whatever your current expertise is, the blockchain is going to disrupt it. I think we can all admit that the internet has revolutionized the world. The world cannot spin without the internet today. Turn off Wi-Fi for 5 minutes and see what happens in your house. The blockchain is bigger than the internet. And the blockchain will disrupt whatever industry you're currently an expert in right now. What that means is, if you want to change your life, if you are not satisfied with where you are today, you don't know what to do and where to get started, this is what you need to start looking into. What is the blockchain? And guess what? Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, day 2 of the 5-day challenge. I'm going to tell you what the blockchain is. Will you show up to learn? Or will you just sit by and watch everybody else get rich? Here's something that is scary. And again, as a Morehouse man, I believe in legacy. We live in the social media era where everything we do today is now recorded. I thank God we didn't have this in the 90s. I lived in Atlanta in college in the 90s, and the things we did, I am glad wasn't recorded. Unfortunately for the rest of you today, everything you do is recorded. And your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren, they're going to know your voice, what you look like, what you sound like, what you ate for dinner last night, what vacations you went on, your political beliefs, your religious beliefs. They're going to know that because the internet keeps everything. And I don't want my descendants to look back at Pop Ivy Brandon and say, what was he doing when Bitcoin was worth less than $100,000 a coin? What BS was he on? What was he talking about? What was he focused on? I want them to know that they live the way they do because of the decisions I made today, or that I at least died trying. Not trying is not acceptable. But that's just me. If it has to be, it is up to me. You can be the first in your family to change your family tree. And it all starts with knowledge and education, and that is what ILCA is here to do. As a disclaimer, this information is intended for educational and training purposes only and should not be construed as investment advice. As with all financial decisions, you should contact your licensed financial advisor before investing in any financial instrument. Is that what you were asking for, Kenny? Is that good enough? We want to set the stage for what you're going to learn this week and why it's important. And it's not something that you can afford to just let pass by because this is not a fad. The blockchain technology has created an industry where it's the best performing asset of the past decade period. We have $867 trillion of real world assets on the move. 16 trillion of that is in real estate. Tokenized real estate. Most people don't own a home. You live in one, but you don't own it. We got the president talking about 50-year mortgages now. Seriously? 50-year mortgages. Your ability to own any type of asset is priced out. You still have an opportunity now, and this technology is going to open the door to every asset on the planet. We're going to show you how to be positioned and take advantage of that. But you got to learn first. Education is key. Education is everything. I'm going to leave the YouTube channel open because now we jump into Q&A. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Casa to handle our Q&A. Our VIP members are able to ask questions. But the rest of the week, for our YouTube members, I cut it off on the Q&A side, and it's just for our VIP members to ask questions. And a lot of times you get better insight from the questions being asked than the lesson I even taught. So I'm excited about that. So I hope you like what I did tonight. I've never done that before in this setting. I do River of Money lessons, but that's like live in front of crews. I've never done it like this. And so I already see some things I'm going to want to change, break it down. But I do want to hear responses from you guys. You know, is that something that you'd like for me to keep in our 5-day challenge on day 1 so that people that you're inviting here can kind of get a sense on why should I still be here? Why should I come back tomorrow? More importantly. So with that, let me turn it on over to Ms. Casa to handle the Q&A, and let's get it rolling.
Okay, booyah. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, as Mr. Ivy knows, one of my all-time favorite subjects that he teaches is personal development. I absolutely believe that if you don't have your mind right, there is no way you can be able to absorb this information correctly. So the fact that he started this off with personal development, phenomenal. Thank you, Mr. Ivey. And yes, we would like you to continue doing that from here on out. Hello. All right, you guys. So this is my favorite time of the session. It's our Q&A time where we only ask 3 things of you. The first one is, please do not unmute yourself until you are called upon. The second one is the second one is only 2 questions unless we have time for more. And the third one is the most important, family. There are no silly questions. So if you have an aha moment or if you have a question, please raise your hand and I'll be more than happy to call on you. So first up is the wonderful Mr. Kenny Taylor. Mr. Taylor, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Brandon, that was great, sir. I enjoyed that even more than the first time we did it. When it's like every time you do it, we learn something different, which is with all our lessons. And that's what people should take away from this. We go over stuff and it may seem like it's a repeat and you're just doing it, but you're always picking up something the second, third, fourth, fifth time that you didn't get the first, second, third, fourth time. So that's a great thing. Yes, I had some aha moments, but my questions take us into areas that we can't go into here because they're either crypto talk aha moments or river of money aha moments. So I'm gonna have to say those for another day, but it was phenomenal. And if people listening don't understand what you just said, they need to listen to this again and understand what you're trying to get across to them. Everything they want is within their reach. It's not a dream. Where this community is a testament to that. You brought a group of strangers together that had the same mindset, same goals. We didn't know how to go about them, and you gave us guidance on it. And now everyone in this community is thriving in their own way, following their own path, so to speak, but we're all still on the same path. And that's what's great about ILCA. You meet people where they're at. No one is expected to come in knowing everything or thinking they know you. And everyone has their own levels. Miss Patty might be a little higher than Miss Rita. Miss Rita might be a little higher than Mr. Jackson. But you meet everyone, and that's what I love. You meet everyone where they're at, and you take them from where they're at to higher heights, new heights. And I appreciate that. So I'll leave it right there for now.
Thank you for sharing that, Kenny. Yeah, this was your idea. Kenny requested that I do it this way, and we did. So thank you for that suggestion, Kenny.
Thank you for everything you do, Mr. Taylor. Bravo. Okay, Miss Patty Geist, the floor is all yours, sweetie.
Thank you, Queen. Yeah, bravo, Kenny. That was such a great idea. And I love the fact of what you mentioned about that ILC meets us individually where we're at. So my question, Brandon, is for you. Gosh, looking at those few videos that you showed, I'm such a visual person, which I'm sure many of us is, but to actually see that 1% owns 40% of the wealth, are you kidding me right now?
That was a 10-year-old video, by the way. It's worse than that now.
Oh my gosh. And to even think that someone who's in the middle class thinks that they're doing so great, but if they looked at that scale, it would be like, oh my God, our family's not doing great. So my question is, what would you talked about being able to put oneself in front of a vehicle. So knowing what you know now, but not being involved in ILCA today, start looking at it like a brand new person is today, what would you put yourself in front of? And aside from education, how and where would you begin?
Great
And what would you
question.
begin with? What would you begin with?
And if I were to think, I don't know that there's an ILCA that even is out there. The first thing that I would do is I would find other communities of people who are thinking like me. That's one of the great things about social media. You can just Google something or ask AI, and it'll tell you,
Right.
are there any communities, are there any local groups that have meetups that are as discouraged as I am, but have a solution and are doing some things. And there's going to, because the blockchain is, there's something for everybody. That's the first thing, so that you are not in this alone. I always say you should have a crypto buddy when you start this journey. I did, and now we have a crypto community. So everybody's our buddy, but you should always have a crypto buddy. Second, I pay attention to what's going on in the world. And I look at, okay, what are the billionaires doing? If you haven't heard the story of Henry Ford, at one point he was the richest man on the planet. He was not an educated man. He just saw a trend, jumped on it, organized a group of people around it, and put resources to make it happen and created his company Ford. Now, when he was got into some type of legal trouble and they dragged him in front of the courts, the lawyers made fun of him and they wanted to highlight his lack of knowledge and not being a very smart man. And they were asking him all these big questions and things that he couldn't answer. And they said, you know what, Mr. Ford, you're only here because you're rich. If you lost all your money, what would you do? Nobody will hire you. What would you do? His answer was, I would go find out where all the rich people are hanging out with, and I would hang out there 24/7. What, he's not going to get rich by osmosis, but he is going to be feeling that vibration. He's going to be hearing conversations that you don't hear at the barbershop with your broke friends. He's going to be exposed to how they're moving, where they're putting their money, what industries are they involved in, and then he can work towards getting himself in those industries, even if that means starting off working for one of those businesses and companies and then working his way up because he knows cash flow is going to be coming through this business. That's what I would do, if that makes sense. And I'm giving a long answer and a short, because I can talk for hours on that.
No, that makes absolute sense. I mean, that goes back to the analogy of you become who you hang around.
There you
So
go.
if you're going to hang around your friends at the barbershop, I mean, you're going to learn how to cut hair and complain, or, you know, you can hang out at the clubs or the sports clubs or whatever, or I hadn't thought about a meetup.
There's a reason why a lot of people, when they first started getting money, they learn how to golf.
Yeah.
Most business deals happen on the golf course than in the
Yep,
boardroom.
sure do. But thank you for mentioning meetups, because I hadn't thought about that as far as blockchain and looking for that that community. But I mean, just for someone that's listening to us tonight for the first time, like many of us all did, it's like, you know, they see us maybe further ahead than they are, and we're not. It's just a matter of the education that we've been able to gain from you over the last 2, 3, 4, and 5 years, and you make it so simple for us to learn, where we can walk in, and as Kenny says, you allow us to meet each and every one of us where we're at. So thank you for that. And that was a great day one. I love the platform, because it really drove, I don't know about anyone else, but for me, my mind was able to follow what you were saying, and it was able to shift the mindset to really see a bigger picture of that 1% and 40% is going to be in my head all night. So let's see what Patty does tomorrow, what I discover. But thank you.
All right. Thank you for sharing, Patty.
Miss Patty, that was a phenomenal question, and I 1000% agree with you. That was a serious eye opener for, I'm sure, all of us. Okay, Miss Judy, the floor is all yours, Queen.
Hey guys, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Wonderful. You know what? I don't so much have a question as a comment. And normally I hate being a guinea pig, but tonight that I enjoyed being a guinea pig. Brandon, I love this new format. It is tremendous. It really, really is eye opening, to the bigger picture out there. I thought that was absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
You guys like it as well. I can tell you guys like that. So we'll keep it.
Yeah, definitely love the new format. And what's really interesting is while this was going on, and you made the comment how, you meet each one of us where we are. And I look at where I was when I first met you. And now I look at where I am. And I look at everything I've been able to accomplish despite where I was when we first met. And it truly is a testament to your education that you have, just like literally kept me going, with something to look forward to because, this last little while I've been sitting here, just reminiscing and where I've come over the last 3 years. And I know one of the things that has gotten me through it was that constant motivation and goal setting and actual involvement in this community that has kept me going. You guys haven't heard my whole story yet. I mean, I think maybe Brandon and Marnita may know a little bit of my story, as well as one of the guests watching on YouTube right now knows my story. But yeah, what this community has done is phenomenal. It's I wouldn't really call it a community at this point. I'd say we're more like a family living in a big family compound. And that's as much as I'm going to say on that because I know that's another call. That's privileged information.
All
But
right.
yeah,
Thank you for sharing that, Judy.
Thank you so much for that, Miss Judy. And I 1000% agree with you. Mr. Ivy, the family has spoken. We love this. We need more of it. Also, people on YouTube are talking about what a wonderful way to kick off the 5-day challenge, how this is dope, all kind of stuff. So I'm so very glad everybody enjoyed it as much as I did. Now, is there anyone else that has an aha moment or a question for Mr. Ivy? All right. Back to you, Mr. Ivy.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being my guinea pig tonight to see this because this is actually what's going to be leading into the coaching academy, the videos that we're going to be coming out with next year. And you kind of see where the focus is with our coaching academy side of things. And we're having multiple divisions of ILCA, including our newly brought out ILCA estate for real estate tokenization. I'll be hinting about that all week and formally bringing that out on next Monday. So we're excited about this journey we're on. So everybody else, come back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we're going to be talking about what is the blockchain. That is the river of money in the future. Every single bank, every single government, every single most major businesses, including the stock market, Wall Street, they are all getting positioned for the blockchain. And there's no escaping this. You're not going to be able to run away from it. It's best to learn what this is first and then figure out how can you benefit from this technology. So we're going to talk about this tomorrow night. After that, those of you on YouTube, you're saying, well, how can I become a VIP member like these cool kids on Zoom and be able to ask questions? Well, yeah, go ahead, Miss Casa.
I'm so sorry. Miss Judy said something and I want to get her now. I'm gonna get you, Miss Judy. Since you said that we haven't heard your story, you're right, we haven't. So I think maybe we should. So I think you should start preparing for the February 5-day challenge. Everybody, we might be hearing Miss Judy's story and hearing her thoughts on ILCA. Okay, that was it.
You called her out on that one. All right. That goes for everybody too. You have a chance to become ILCA certified. That's an important next step as well through this process. But for those of you on YouTube that want to become a VIP member with us, get back to the person who invited you, and they're going to show you how to do it. And go back to the email you received when you registered to be a part of the 5-day challenge. There's information in there that will show you how you can become a VIP member and be with the cool kids on the Zoom with us and be able to turn your camera on, show your face, ask questions, and join our community. So with that, thank you everybody. I will see you VIP members tomorrow morning for Inner Circle Crypto Talk, and we'll be back tomorrow night for day 2 of the 5-day challenge. What is the blockchain? Take care, everybody. Brandon Ivey out. Bye-bye.